Good afternoon, fight fans, and welcome back to another Blood, Sweat, and Tears IG Live interview. Tonight's guest came up through the Tough Series. She's a rising Canadian flyweight. She's 4-2 in the UFC with 4 exciting finishes. Please welcome Gillian Robertson. We'll just wait for Gillian to sign in and we'll be underway shortly. Thanks everyone for joining today. Gillian fights Courtney Casey next weekend. And hi to the people waving. Boom. Gillian will be signed in shortly. Thanks everyone for joining.
What's up?
Hey, how's it going, Gillian?
Oh, good. Just getting off the mats now. How are you doing?
Good, good. How was training today?
Oh, good as always. I think 11 days out now, so we're ready.
Yeah, I bet. Did you happen to watch the fights this past weekend?
I actually missed the main event and co-main event, which I heard the main event was absolutely insane to watch. Everybody was saying they gave Amanda like 4 10-8s almost, so I would love to see that. And then obviously Garbrandt's massive knockout, but every other fight on the card was absolutely amazing to watch.
Yeah, it was an amazing card. It's funny because people were saying the card didn't have star coverage, but you arguably had the female GOAT on the card. So it's like, how can anyone not be hyped to see Amanda Nunes fight? You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, and especially, like, she just always goes out there to perform. She goes out there for the kill, and she goes out there for her finish. So it's always amazing to see her fight.
Yeah, and Felicia showed a ton of toughness in that fight, too. Like, I know you said you didn't get to see it, but Felicia, like, she hung through for 25 minutes, and it was something else.
Well, watching her fight Cyborg, I expected nothing else, you know? She gave she took Cyborg to a decision, which few girls can do. So I expected her to be able to bring the fight to Amanda no matter what.
Definitely. So how's your fight camp going? How long were you able to get in for this fight?
Well, I haven't stopped. I've been working twice a day, every day with my coach, Dean Thomas. He's been working with me privately, so we really haven't missed a day. I've probably been putting more work in than pre-coronavirus, actually.
Oh, that's nice. So basically you're saying with the COVID, you got to work with Dean Thomas on like a one-to-one basis and it worked out better.
Oh, yeah. I probably see myself improve as a fighter more than anything within these last couple months just because I've had so much one-on-one attention with a coach.
Yeah, that's awesome. And Dean Thomas is a fucking great coach, too. So that's a perfect person to have one-to-one time with.
Oh, yeah, he's the best. I've worked with him for about 9 years now, so there's no one better for me. No coach who knows me like that.
That's awesome. So you had an opponent change. How happy were you when manager called and said Courtney Casey, knowing she's a top 15 opponent?
Well, I never really took my first opponent too serious just because of the COVID. I didn't expect it to happen, so I never really thought about, oh, I have a fight this date. It was just sort of, we're training to get myself better. And then once I got the Courtney Casey, I was super hyped for that because I feel like she's a great matchup for me. And yeah, I just think she's a perfect matchup, a perfect win, and get me ranked real quick.
I agree too. Like, I think it's, when I saw the matchup, I was like, oh, that's a great matchup for you because arguably you could be in her position ranking wise. So now it gives you the chance to steal that ranking, you know what I mean? Or better, even with a great performance.
Oh, yeah, exactly. That's what I'm here for. Just keep on climbing, keep on getting the win. So that'll just be another finish on my record and keep me up in the top. Right now I have the record for most finishes in my division, so I'm not trying to let any girl beat that. Yeah,
it's awesome. I love your jiu-jitsu. I think it's underrated. Like, people obviously know you have good jiu-jitsu. I think it's unreal, and I'm excited to watch it every single time. Like, training jiu-jitsu, it's fun watching somebody excel at it in MMA though. You know what I mean? It's one thing to do BJJ in a gi or no gi, whatever, but to able to translate that into a fight, it's fucking something else.
I feel like a lot of people think jiu-jitsu doesn't work for fights because they're using such old school jiu-jitsu, and it's like, no, that doesn't work for fights. But if we use straight boxing for a fight, it wouldn't work either. And it's been modified for MMA, so it's like that's what me and Dean are trying to do together is just modify it for MMA, so then we can really display the sport of jiu-jitsu in MMA.
Awesome. What challenges do you think Courtney presents for you?
I think she's long, rangy, and got good boxing, and obviously she has 2 armbar finishes, so that's going to be something to watch out for. But other than that, I don't think she has great wrestling, so that's perfect for me to get her down to the ground quick, and I think it'll be my world down there.
Nice. I'm excited to see. Do you feel any added pressure coming off a loss in your last fight? Like the UFC can be so savage sometimes, and no pun intended.
Yes and no. Obviously, you always have to be concerned. Like, I'm wanting to go in there and wanting to perform my best, but that's really all that I'm worried about is my performance. I just want to be the best me out there, and then I know if I show that, then the UFC is going to want to keep me around.
True enough. So what does it mean to you to be a Canadian fighter? I know you live in the U.S. now, but you still represent Canada and carry that flag around. What does that mean to you?
I know there's very few of us, so that means a lot to me to be able to represent, and there's never been I believe GSP has been and there's one other Canadian champ, but there's never been a female Canadian champ.
Yeah.
So I want to be the first there.
I feel like the Canadians as MMA fans, we've been looking for that next GSP to score. Like Rory McDonald was kind of there for a bit, but then he went to Bellator and you kind of just been through too many wars. But yeah, as Canadian fans, we're looking for that new person to support, and you having 4 finishes, I think you're a perfect person for that job.
I definitely feel like I am. I'm still only 25 years old, coming up in the division, and I expect to have that spot within the next couple of years.
Nice. So how was your whole experience on Tough? What were you able to take away from that experience that bettered you as a fighter and as a person?
It actually might help me in this next fight, fighting in front of no crowd. So that's an experience that you don't get a lot. I already got to experience in the Tough House, so now I'll be able to experience it again in the Apex in a couple weeks. But just being around such high-level girls and having so much attention, like I think there's 8 girls on a team and you have like 5 coaches per team. So it's like you have one-on-one attention every single day for 6 weeks, and just seeing yourself excel, and it really makes you find a love for the sport more than anything else, because you literally have nothing else to do but just fall in love with it. That's
awesome, man. I'm glad you found that passion within the house. I saw on a combat sports coverage, another interview with you, that you had a experience with Snoop on a episode of Some of the Girls.
So Snoop used to do his the Snoopcast with Uriah Faber for the Contender Series. So I think there's only like 4 girls who didn't go because they were all fighting the next day, so they didn't want they didn't go to the Contender Series that night. But the rest of us got to go into Snoop's trailer, and he was like, one of the girls was like, "Oh, it smells good in here." He's like, "Oh," it just starts pulling out blunts and things, lighting them, and it was kind of unreal for me, being a cannabis connoisseur, I would say. So it was just an amazing experience. It's like the Tough House brought to me a lot of unreal experiences. Just being around Dana White, being around those girls, and being with Justin Gaethje and his team too. They were amazing.
Yeah, I feel like Dana White would be a fun personality to be around a lot. He has a lot of energy and a lot of passion for the sport.
Oh yeah, always a lot of energy, and always just looking out for us, looking out for the fighters.
So back to you here. A win here. What's next for Gillian Robertson? Who do you want to fight?
I guess right now I'm just focused on the next fight. Always looking forward to the next fight. So I guess I'm just thinking about that right now, and then we'll look at the top 14 girls after that, because I'll have my name at 15. So I'm trying to climb the rankings, trying to get up there.
Yeah, one fight at a time. So lastly, for the fight fans who don't know you, who don't follow you, why should they hit that follow button, become a fan after watching you today? Watching you fight this weekend, sorry.
You're going to see some sick jiu-jitsu, a lot of pictures of my dog, who you can't get enough of, and I guess, I don't know, a lot of savage shit.
No, that's good. That's good enough for me, because like I became a fan watching your first fight, and when I was watching Tough, and then I started like looking back at your history, and you've always just had that kill. You know what I mean? You always want to finish. And again, like I said, that jits that you bring into the fight, it's exciting to watch. So thank you again for coming on for this quick interview today. And I look forward to watching you fight in 2 weeks.
Oh, thank you so much for having me.
No worries. Thank you, fight fans. Gillian Robertson fights against Courtney Casey on June 20th. Tune in. Have a good day, Gillian.